Hi, this is Colleen with Chats with Colleen. We are so glad that you're here joining us for our bi-weekly podcast edition. Um, this week, we're going to have Beason on. He is going to talk about a spiritual retreat that he went on. Um, it was over in Arizona, I believe, and it was enlightening to him and his life to help him get through some past trauma and move on and better his relationship with his wife and his children, and only himself, more importantly. That's the most important thing. You can't be good to anybody if you're not good to yourself. So it was really brave of him to come in and be vulnerable with us and share that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it because I did, and it really opened my eyes to other aspects of life that I've probably never looked into. So please listen, like, and share, and subscribe to our bi-weekly podcast. Also, if you or a friend or a family member or a colleague wants to come on and join us and share their mission, their journey, their job, their career, their hobby, anything, we are open to that. So please DM us, get in contact with us to join us. And again, we appreciate you and your time, and thank you so much, and enjoy the show. This is Colleen with Chats with Colleen. We are so glad that you are joining me.
Yes.
Ian Benson.
Beason.
Beason?
B-E-A-S.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Benson's fine too.
I just renamed you. I like to do that.
Go ahead.
But anyways, thanks for coming here.
Yes.
So today I don't have you and your wife. I just have you.
Yes.
Your wife's observing.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to have
like more. She's watching me.
She's watching.
In the corner.
So I want to start from the beginning. What made you go to a spiritual retreat, and what is a spiritual retreat?
That was the last time I even brought that up was probably 6-7 months ago with you about that retreat.
Yes.
I did it because I was having some anger issues in our relationship, and Natalie said I need to go see someone or talk to somebody. So it wasn't necessarily planned per se, but her friend did the same thing and reached out to me, or I reached out to her, and it was more of I guess the spiritual part comes in and that you're looking to change something inside of you. Mm-hmm. And the change kind of takes place when you actually go out there and are willing to kind of open yourself up. So that's where I guess where the spiritual part comes in. It's not just on the outside. It's more of something on the inside that if you're looking to change something about you, I think it's an experience I think most people should try.
Should try?
Yeah, try an experience.
Was it something that you'd say that you wanted to do?
Oh, yeah. I think by the time I even thought about it and spoke to Natalie's friend, it was something that I was yearning to do. So I had no reservations at all. Like I grew up super religious. So in the like the Black church and the Caribbean church, like when you grow up in church, it's very, anything, if you say spiritual, people get freaked out. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, it's the devil and all these things, these negative connotations come up. So that's how I grew up. So for me to step out of that like comfort zone was a big deal. Yeah. And I mean, I stepped out completely. I told the guy on the phone, I'm like, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't, at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm willing to be totally vulnerable to whatever you guys can do.
Wow. And where was it? Arizona?
Sedona.
Sedona.
It was north of Phoenix, about 2.5 hours north of Phoenix in the mountains.
Nice weather.
Yeah, yeah. I went, I remember it was winter time when I went out there. So it was beautiful. It wasn't hot. The weather was very mild.
Snows there, right?
No snow.
No. Okay.
No. I mean, it does snow in the mountains, but where I was at, it wasn't. I wasn't high enough for it to really snow yet. But it was beautiful, man. I told Natalie I want to go back out there just as a vacation.
I heard Arizona is really beautiful.
Yeah. It's don't go in the summertime, but towards the fall and winter, definitely go out there for sure.
And they didn't do anything like sweat lodges or
no,
anything there.
Everybody asked me that.
Okay.
I asked the guy on the phone, I'm like, hey, man, I was like, is this like a sweat thing where I have to go in a tent and, take mushrooms? He's like, no, nothing like that. Yeah, this is pretty much you're meeting with people, different types of people, I guess like sociologists, people who can help you in different areas of your life. So you're just talking one-on-one a lot with people. That's what it is. Engaging indoor, outdoor, walking on nature and talking to somebody. It's what most of it is about.
Were there other people there doing the same thing and you would do groups with them?
For mine, I didn't want the group. I wanted the
Okay.
one-on-one personally. I think they do have groups, but I paid the extra. I paid the premium for one-on-one. So you're essentially paying to be with counselors for 4 days.
Okay.
Like one-on-one session for counselors for 4 days.
Was it 4 days?
Yeah, it's for 4 days. And they set you up with an itinerary. So you know exactly what you're doing from the time you arrive till the time you leave. So you're not guessing. So every day you meet 2 or 3 people during the course of a day, starting about 9 o'clock in the morning. And toward the course of the day, you're meeting different individuals doing different activities.
For the whole time?
For the whole time.
Everything's planned? Even
Everything's
like your
planned.
meals and everything?
Your meals, you can eat whatever you want. It's not like you're going to a lodge and they have your meals planned. Like I had to get my own Airbnb, get my own place to stay. So you plan your own meals. And the only thing you have to make sure you show up on time is to the actual sessions.
Okay.
With the different individuals.
Nice. And your friend told you about this?
Yes. Actually, it was Natalie's friend. Natalie's really good from the college that told me about that.
And they had went?
Yeah. And well, it was after hearing her experience and what she said is really what made me go, because I really trusted her. And I figured if she's Natalie's friend, and we've known her for a very, very long time. So I talked to her and we were on the phone for about a good hour. And some of the things I heard, I'm like, you know what? If you experience that, then that's something I believe I'd like to experience also.
Wow. What were some of the practices that they had you do?
Man, that's a good question. I don't even know where I should start. The first, I'll just do one of the simplest ones, was just breathing exercises.
Okay.
Breath work is what they call it. Breath work is a technique used to breathe in and out. And what you do is, how do I say this? It's a way of getting high without drugs. It's a way of using oxygen, coming in and out of your body. And when you do it enough, you enter this weird state. I can't almost describe it. It's not, you're in your body, but you're kind of not. But you're breathing. It's the way you breathe in and out over and over.
It's really
again.
relaxing?
It's euphoric.
hypnotic?
It's very euphoric. It's extremely euphoric. You're gone pretty much. And that was where the person that's doing it gets to make a lot of leeway with you, and healing starts, because now you're vulnerable and now you start opening up about what's going on, because you're going to places that you never thought you'd go to before. Just being, I'm aware of myself now doing this interview with you, but this is not the place I was in when I was there.
Breathing.
You're aware of your breathing, and what happens is you're breathing, but you're not really feeling it, but you're breathing this technique, and there's instructor that's kind of talking, but you can't hear. After a while, you're not really paying attention to what they're saying. You're just breathing, and then all of a sudden you're just in this altered state.
Do they like hypnotize you?
It's I think it's your own place you go to. I can't even describe it. It's very powerful though, because I cried.
Wow.
I cried a lot, because you're going to a place inside that's you've probably never been to in a long time. And so when you start going there, it's really like, you're like, I'm in this place. I've never been here in a long time. And this feels really good, but I feel a lot of pain.
Scary.
Yeah, it's scary, because because church doesn't teach you these things. You just go to church and do whatever the praise is. But when somebody is licensed and they know how to help you, you go to places you never thought you've been before. And I was ready for it, so I was fine with it. I was fine when I got to the place where they took me. I was fine, but I know some people, if they're not ready for it, it might be a little traumatic if they're not ready.
I feel like it could, make them freak out or something.
Well, they interview you first
to make sure.
If they feel like you need to see a professional first, they'll tell you, "Hey, you're not ready for this yet. We recommend you go see a professional, talk to somebody for a while, and a couple months, and then come back to us, and then we'll interview you again. And if it turns out that you are a candidate for this, then we can do it then."
What type, could you just tell me, not all the questions that they asked, but maybe it's like a couple of the questions that they would ask in the interview to see if you're an appropriate candidate?
Since I was so open, one of the questions they ask is, "Are you religious?" And then, you kind of tell them. That's the first thing. Tell us your trauma. So you describe the trauma that you've gone through, because this is why you're going, is to get some type of relief or a new perspective on your life. So that's two of the questions they ask. Are you married, single? You know, the typical questions they
Yeah.
ask, just to kind of see where you're at in life. What big goals do you have in life? And are you achieving them? Things to kind of see the kind of individual you are. And so they can make up an itinerary for you, because every single itinerary is different.
Mm-hmm.
So they interview you, and then they make your itinerary based on what you're answering. And then based on that, it determines who you will see and in what order.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they do the breath work. Is that the first thing that you do?
That's one of the last things they do, because
Oh.
everything is done on purpose. I think the first thing I did was meet with a counselor to talk about my childhood trauma. That was traumatizing,
I
because
bet.
all of us in our childhoods, we have trauma, you know, just different levels of it. So a lot of that stuff you forget, kind of put in the back of your head. And she's asking me all these questions, and I'm like, why is she asking me these questions about my childhood? But I realized that in order for her to get to me, in order for me to really open up, I have to be vulnerable to whatever she wants. So I was going like she's like, well, why did your dad hit you? You know, are you mad at him? Like, she's digging deep. And then you start opening these wounds, like these spiritual wounds, I call them, like wounds that are like deep, that have been tucked away. And that stuff you never really get rid of until you approach it. So I found myself having to approach feelings I haven't felt since I was a little boy. That was tough. But
That's gotta be tough.
But it's kind of needed as part of the healing process. So that was the first day. So that was very intense for me. I was like, man, this is
exhausting.
It is. When you're done, you're crying. You're trying to figure out like what happened. So it takes you a while to recover from that first. That was the first session. I think let's say I arrive on a Monday. That session was like 12 or 1 o'clock the next day, because they need you to get in the morning to wake up, get ready for it, because that session was intense.
So did they do anything after that?
I think that session might have been the only one that day for that, because it's so intense. So you have the night to go and eat and do whatever you want to do, and then you begin your sessions the next day. I think about 9 o'clock in the morning.
I wonder if anybody, after they do something like that, they don't go back. They don't go back.
I bet you they have stories about that. I'm telling you, because the whole area is kind of, their description of it is, it's very, I guess, spiritual. But when they say spiritual, what it comes down to is there's a high level of magnetic fields in Sedona. Magnetic fields. So they call it vortices, where you go to certain areas, and it's weird. You can feel something. I don't even know how to describe it, but there is something there. But I looked it up. It's just a high level of concentrated magnetic fields in the Sedona area.
That area.
Yeah, and so what happens is we also give off magnetic fields as humans,
right.
A small amount. So it's going to impact you somehow. It was fine for me. I didn't have any problem with it, but the instructor did tell me that some people go there for a day, they feel it, and they never come back.
Oh,
yeah, so
it's too much.
Yeah, some people it affects them that much, and others they're fine with it. So every individual is different.
Wow. And then did the sessions progressively get harder or easier?
They were just different. It wasn't harder or easier. It was just different. For example, the second day, I'd start out with a nature walk with another individual. We'd speak about nature, and every session built on the other session, the previous session. So they would look at the notes from the previous session, and the person would probably call them and tell them, hey, this is what to expect from this person. So when the morning came, they knew who I was, what I'd been through the day before. And they just start off there where the other one left off, and they do something slightly different. So the next day was like a nature walk. You talk about nature, you go walking into the mountains, and then you reflect. And she hit these bells and made these noises, but it gets you into a state of mind of like relaxation, and it gets you to kind of reflect on your life. And she's able to explain the trauma that you experience, and it's a way to understand what you've experienced is not really your fault. So that's what she goes to explain is, hey, you're special. And they tell you these words, and now these are trained people doing this. So they tell you, hey, you're special. You shouldn't have to feel like you're not valued. And so as you're listening to this and feeling it, she's hitting a bell, and you go through these like chants, different things that I've never done before. But I was told as a child, as anything that's not in the church, that spiritual is bad. So when you grow up that way, you never go out of that circle. You always stay within the church circle. I decided I didn't want to be in the church circle anymore. And I said, I'm just going to leap out of this and do something totally different. And so that's the experience I had as far as different, I guess, different paths for different counselors. It's not hard or easy. It's just different.
So for these, since it's a spiritual retreat, it's not religious, it's spiritual.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So there's a total, and that's what they tell you is like, hey, we don't care if you're Christian, Buddhist, we don't care what you are. This is a spiritual experience. So it's whatever you want to get out of it. Like that's the one thing they say is we don't apply to any religion here.
Right. It's your spirit.
It's a spirit thing. So when they say that, it makes it very easy because now you're just there and it doesn't matter really what you believe. You just show up and you just kind of go through it with them. And I think as long as you're receptive to try to change, and that's what it is if you're open to changing something about you, the experience is more of a positive experience. If you're a person that fights change,
it won't work.
It's going to be more difficult because you're fighting.
Take longer, probably.
Yeah, well, you're fighting what's something inside of you that's you is trying to come out, and you're fighting it. And the whole point of this is you're looking to change something about yourself. It doesn't mean that you're going to change necessarily who you are, but whatever you're looking for, if you're not looking to put some work into changing it, being a better version of yourself, then it's going to be tough. The experience might be a negative one for you.
I could see that. And the people that work there who run these, what's their certifications?
I don't know. They all had some type of certification. I didn't ask them what they were, but I know they were all trained. Whether it's they took a certification or they went to a college.
Right.
Like the first person I saw was a doctor of, I think, psychology or something. So she was trained.
A psychologist.
So you're talking to people that are trained. And then I think the last person I met, I believe he was trained, but I don't know if he went to college, but he may have taken a course over several years, and he has experience doing it. So you get a mixture of all different types of people out there. Some are degreed, some are not, but they all follow pretty much the same plan. Whoever the individual is, they all are speaking about that person, and everything builds. Every single person you meet is built from the previous person that you met.
Wow. And how long is it, like from 8 to 5, let's say the whole day?
Yeah. It's all different. So the first day was, like I said, it was one session, very intense. All right, your brain needs rest. So the second day was nature walk. Then I met somebody after lunch for the breath work. And then the breath work was the last an hour and a half. It lasted almost 3 hours. So now I'm exhausted after breath work and I want to go home, but then I have a massage at 6:30. So now you're actually very tired from the breath work.
I bet.
So when you get the massage, you're falling asleep. You're falling asleep on the massage table, but it's their way of like relaxing you at the end of the day, like really relaxing. Because by the time I got home that night, I was spent. I remember going into the Airbnb and just collapsing because you're just
exhausted.
Your brain is tired. It's really a brain thing. It's not a physical thing. It's a brain thing. Your brain just gets totally exhausted.
Emotionally
exhausted. And you're just done. You're just done for the night.
Wow. And then this was 4 days of that.
Yeah.
And then after you were done, did you get on a plane and fly back home?
Hell yeah.
I was going to say, or did you take a day or two to?
It happened so fast. So I remember it was December 29th, 30, 31, New Year's.
Right
I was
before
there.
the New Year's.
I was there for New Year's by myself.
Okay.
That's part of it. You're there by yourself. You can't bring family. You can't talk to anybody. So I'm there for 4 days. You can talk to them, but you can't tell them what you experience. Because if you tell them, you'll mess up the experience, the entire thing that you're getting. So they advise you to wait till after it's all done, and then you can go ahead and
then
speak.
share it.
Yeah, so I would call Natalie, but I necessarily wouldn't tell her what I was going through. We just talk, in general, normal stuff. And then literally at the end of it, you're done. Because they give you an itinerary, so when you're done, the last day you're done, and you're just planning your flight. So what I did was I just stayed an extra day, so I didn't have to rush. So the next morning I woke up and I just went to the airport.
And got out of there.
Back, yeah.
And did you feel some type of changes or some type of way immediately, or was it still? I feel like it was fast, so you would be like kind of a blur.
It's almost like because change takes a long time.
Yeah.
And I say it's a spiritual change. Anything that's inside of you takes a long time to actually begin transition, and then the outcome. It takes a long time. So when I was on that plane back, I was very emotional. I was crying. I remember I was crying. I was bawling. People were looking at me because they thought something was wrong. I was trying to hide my face and wipe my tears on the plane because it was very emotional. So because something happened to me. So I'm like, I've never felt like this in my entire life. I don't know how to react to this. So it was very emotional for several weeks after. Very emotional, I knew I was somebody different, but I just couldn't explain it. Like if you talk to Natalie, she goes, "Oh, you're different." Like when it came back, she goes, "I'm like, what do you mean I'm different?" She goes, "You're not." Like she's like, "You're not the same person." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel the same." But it's obvious that she noticed that there's something that changed about me. So yeah, you're going through this change, but even when you get back into, I call it the real world reality, you're transitioning and you see things differently and you feel differently. So it takes a while for you to become this new person. You can feel it by the way you see the world and you hear people, but the transition takes a while, months and months, because now you have to practice being this different person.
You're like still processing all this stuff that you just talked about
because I can
learn.
Yeah, because I can talk about it now and not cry, but if you would have asked me this like a year ago, I'd have been a mess.
So this was just in the past 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in the past
Recent.
2 years. Yeah. Yeah, past 2 years. So it's been, I mean, I've relapsed a couple of times, but for the most part, I've become more aware of my triggers, what triggers me. Like I tell Natalie, I'm like, I try to, when I get mad, I know exactly why I'm mad, and I think about it now. So when something bothers me, I'm like, okay, what's really bothering me? Am I just being mad to be mad, or is what's really causing me to feel this way? So I really think about it now so I can reflect why I'm feeling that way instead of just reacting for no apparent reason. I'm like, okay, I'm frustrated because I'm nervous, not because I'm mad, because I'm nervous that something's going to happen to this person. So now once I understand what I'm really feeling, it's easier for me to deal with my emotions I just don't react anymore. I mean, every now and then I do react still, but for the most part, I do know, and I always tell Natalie this, she's like, "You're yelling." I'm like, "I know exactly why I'm yelling." I said, "I'm thinking about it consciously, and it makes sense to me." I said, "I feel this way. I know I'm yelling. I know you don't like it, but I know exactly what I'm doing." Whereas before, I'm just yelling.
Most people do that.
Yeah, you just yell, and you don't even think about it. You just yell, and you just get angry or sad or scream or whatever, and you don't think about it. Now, even when I get mad, I'm like, I know why I'm mad. The kids aren't listening, and I tell the kids, I'm not mad because you're not listening. I'm mad because I'm scared that your future is going to be filled with you messing up all the time. So I'm scared, but I'm reacting with anger, but on the inside, I'm really scared. That's literally what
I can relate to that. Right now, it's very difficult, but yeah, and I think you went for anger. You said,
yeah.
I think anger is an emotion. So like, we're people, got blood.
Yeah,
so
we're
we
emotional.
Have
yeah.
emotion.
Yes.
So when someone says to you, "Oh, you're emotional," no, like you said, there's a reason.
Yep.
I think that's good that you can acknowledge it and say, no. But sometimes people say, like, take a 10-second timeout. Do you think that works?
No.
Because you're still probably more mad after the 10 seconds.
I think it depends on the individual. I think once you become aware of yourself and what's actually happening inside, that's why I've told Natalie now, even when I work or meet people, when people get angry, I don't get mad anymore. I'm like, okay, they're mad, but they don't know who I am. But they're angry for a reason, but they don't know who I am. So I don't know them, they don't know me, so I can't take their anger personally. And so now I try to, when I talk to people, I really observe them. Like if they're nervous, what they're saying, if they get a little frustrated, it's not me. It's probably something going on. They're worried about something else. And I try to take a different perspective in most people I see now, even the ones that look like assholes or mean. I'm like, well,
it's them, it's not you, it's
yeah,
them.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's hard for most people to like really believe that,
Most people just take it personally and like, oh, you're going to treat me like that, then
okay.
I'm going to get you back.
Screw you, yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of people need to do that, especially lately. I think everybody's been a little bit more angry.
It's tough, man. It's tough out there, man.
It's very tough out there.
People are losing their minds lately.
I don't blame them. So since you went through this experience, you seem extremely calm to me. Do you feel calmer?
Natalie will tell you I'm not calm all the time. I'm looking at her right now. She listening to me? Did you see her?
I saw that. Yes, I did.
I am more calm in the sense of I don't react too much. Now, every now and then I will get frustrated, and Natalie, she'll always point out, hey, your tension is going up. I noticed you've been that way for the last couple of days. And usually it's because something's going on in my life. Like, for instance, right now my dad's sick. Oh. So a lot of that's in my mind. So when I react, I'm like, well, my dad's sick and he's telling me he's sick. So I'm like, I'm thinking about that.
Of course.
And it comes out as anger, but I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at that situation. I'm scared because he's going to pass away and there's nothing I can do about it. So now I have to try to figure out those feelings along with
everything else.
Yeah,
along your life still goes on.
Yeah. And I realize life just goes on no matter what happens to you as an individual. Like, it never stops. That's one of the hardest things to accept is no matter what is happening to you as a person or in your life, life does not stop for nothing.
It's still going.
It keeps going the entire time. It never even skips a beat. It just goes. And I'm like, man, that's so unfair. Like,
it's so unfair. We don't get like a timeout.
Can't the world stop even for like a couple minutes to, but that's not how it works. So that's what happens to me sometimes. You're just dealing with something else and you're trying to process it in your mind, and then other things are coming up at the same time. So it does get frustrating.
Or you may forget about that,
like
that fear for a couple seconds, and then it comes back, and you feel guilty for like forgetting about it.
Yeah, I mean,
it dawns on you.
All these things happen, and I'm trying to process. Even with the way I feel now, it's still, I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to deal with how I feel, how I speak to people, and even my sons. I yell at them a lot, but if I find out I'm going over the top, I'll apologize to them the next day.
Yeah,
to let them know, and I'll give them a hug. I'm like, hey, I probably shouldn't have yelled at you like that. Listen, I'm really sorry. If it made you feel bad, let's talk about it. I don't want you to leave feeling that way. And I tell them that all the time, like, because my dad didn't do that to me at all growing up. So he'd always yell, but he never apologized. So I'm
never
like,
said sorry.
Yeah, so
I wasn't right.
Yeah, so it leaves like a stigma of me as a man. So I'm like, well, what the hell? But with my two boys, I make sure I'm like, when I go crazy on them, I'm like, hey man, I apologize for yesterday. I don't want you to leave feeling like I don't like you or anything, but this is what I really felt. And I tell them what I really felt the next day. Hey, you weren't listening because I'm scared for your future. As a parent, you want to see your kids succeed.
And you want them to be more successful than you.
Yeah, because we know how hard life is.
We know. And I feel like it's
scary.
It's very scary and hard out there right now.
Yeah, it is.
So that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
It's true.
I'm not going to lie.
No, I think a lot of parents, it keeps them up at night. So when they doing stupid things, you're like, what the hell? What the hell's wrong with you, man? Why are you doing this?
Exactly.
But I always try to, if I go crazy, I try to apologize to them.
Which is good.
And I look them in the eyes. I'm like, hey, I love you. I want you to know that. I'm sorry for what I did. Because I think that's important to tell someone that you yell at or hurt, that you apologize to them and that you didn't mean anything by it. I think
it takes a lot because a lot of people don't do that, especially parents, and I think it's maybe like generational because I know like older, like our parents.
My parents didn't apologize.
Didn't do that. And like they still probably won't. But I think it just maybe we think back and we didn't like that.
Yeah.
So we think about it. But even still, I'm like, you could just apologize.
Yeah, exactly. It goes a long way, though.
It does. It goes a long way, especially when you admit it. And the person that you're giving the apology to at that time may not accept it. They'll be like, oh, whatever. But later on, they'll probably really appreciate it.
No, that's why I do it with them, because I know when they're kids, kids look up to parents a lot when they're teenagers, a lot, even though they act like they don't.
Oh, yeah.
I know they do.
And even as young adults, I think they do too.
Yeah.
Even though they think they know everything at that age. But I think they still look at it and they appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I wanted to ask you, you kind of touched on it. How's your relationship with your kids?
I think I have I hope they say I have a pretty good relationship with them. I try to do the best I can with the resources I have. So now they'll tell you if they have an event, I'll show up to their event. Mm-hmm. My kids are lazy, but most boys are this age. Their teenage years are lazy, but I really try to do things with them purposely. They're very active. So one does basketball, the other does soccer. So show up to games, practices, and I really try to be there for them. I've put my seminary life on hold because of that.
I wanted to ask you, so you're waiting for them to maybe get a little bit settled, because I know those ages are super busy.
Oh yeah, I told the church committee, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing.
You don't have time.
And I told them, I was like, well, I do have time, but I'm not going to spend it doing this. Mm-hmm. And I said, so what I'll do is I'll spend most of my time with the boys until they leave the house.
Right.
And I said, as soon as they leave the house, then I'll commit to doing.
You'll have more time.
Yeah, and that's why.
And then they'll leave and they come back. And then you'll be like, what happened? But yeah, because you only have so much time, and it goes by so fast.
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
Then worse.
Yeah, I think it's better because I think I put the time into. appreciate her more. Actually, she didn't like it at first because I was giving her too much attention.
And then
way too much attention.
we're not used to that.
No, like she's like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Like, you're being too nice. And I'm like, I can't help it. I really want to be around you. Like, that's what the attention was. So finally she's like, she accepted the attention that I was giving her, but it was just a change for me and a small change for her. Mm-hmm. It took her a while to accept this new version. I mean, I still go back every now and then and just relapse. But I think, like I said, I'm still in transition. I'm still in the transition phase still. Because it takes a while.
Well, it's recovery. So it's kind of like any type of, not to say illness, but any type of issue that a person has. Yeah. Like if they have a drug addiction, alcohol, they always...
It takes a while.
Yeah.
You never...
You're never recovered. You're still in recovery. We all are. We all have our own emotional issues or anything that we're dealing with.
Exactly. As long as you're taking the time to recognize it and trying to change and do something different, I think that's the best. That's the best we can hope for.
Exactly. And then did you gain anything from the retreat that you weren't expecting, or did you expect it to be exactly as it was?
Sorry.
You're okay.
I got everything that I thought it was. I got exactly what I thought it was, probably even more from the retreat. I mean, like I said, since I was an open book, I was prepared for anything. Mm-hmm. So from the full experience I had from that retreat, I was fully 100% satisfied with what I felt I got from it. It gave me the tools I needed to deal with my current situations, and they follow up with you for a couple months after the fact to make sure that the tools they gave you're trying to incorporate into your daily life to, make sure, because if you don't incorporate and try, you end up going back to that person that you were, which I'm finding myself kind of doing. So I do have to meditate, take some time out for myself, when things start getting rough. So if you don't practice what they give you, you'll end up
it's not going to work.
Correct.
You'll revert back to your old ways.
Yes. So you have to always be consciously aware of who you are, what you become, but understand that if you don't practice, whether it's self-healing, self-reflection every day or several times a week, you will. Because it's easy for us to go back to the person that we were.
It's easy.
It's normal. We wouldn't even think about it. But it's really difficult to put time into becoming and staying that person that you want to be.
Yeah. And then I know that you may not want to answer this, but I know everybody would be dying to know. Is something like this very expensive?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I think it was almost $5,000.
Oh, wow.
It's expensive as hell.
It's not expensive. And that's not including the airfare, the
hell
hotel,
no.
or
That's
the
just for
their services.
But the thing is, they are willing to negotiate pricing.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I said $5,000, I think they dropped it by $1,000 for me because I'm like, I don't need. At first, it was a full week. I'm like, I don't need a full week. Actually, I was done after day one. I had everything I needed after day one. I was fine. But it is not cheap. I think for what they give you, you could find that same thing if you search enough. You could find it at other, because that was just the one I went because it was recommended by a friend.
By a friend. Well,
but
you want to go somewhere where you know something about it.
And the only reason I went was because the friend said, "Hey, this is what I experienced." So the friend never told me that, I probably wouldn't have went to that particular one. But they have these things all over Sedona. It's not just the one I went to. They have these type of places, retreats all over Sedona. So I think if you do your homework, you could find one that's more reasonable as far as affordable to go to. The one
I don't know. I think they're all, because I've seen yoga retreats like in that area, and they're like the same price, like $3,995.
And I don't like that it is, because Natalie and I can afford to do these things out of the blue. So yes, we have the money, but I don't think the average person is just going to have $3,000 to $5,000 to go on a 4-day.
They would probably have to pay for it like in advance.
Yeah.
And start making payments or something.
And they do have that feature to where, let's say you want to go in December, they'll start taking payments in like July, so you can make payments towards going. And so you can make like 4 or 5 payments and split it up. So they make it affordable to where if you can't afford the full thing, then you make payments.
Because it's like going on an expensive cruise or something.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what cruise lines do. You can pay months before you leave to pay it off. Correct.
Jeez, but yeah, it is a lot. It's
it was a lot.
$1,000 a day.
When I saw that price tag, I was like, damn! Holy crap, man. I was like, you better change me. I better become like an angel. Oh my God. It's expensive, man.
It is.
Holy crap.
It is. But it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really put a price on your inner you whatever that person is. So at the end of the day, I didn't even really worry about the money.
It's true. If it helps you, it's worth every penny.
Correct.
Have you recommended other people to go?
Yes.
Have they
Hell,
taken you up?
I think at least 3 or 4 people I spoke with, because I told people about what I went through. Like, people don't talk about their transformations. People are very uncomfortable talking about changing, becoming somebody different. They're not comfortable doing it, because when I talk to my friends, they're like, huh? Are you, especially my religious friends, they're like, man, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I know exactly what I am, and I know exactly what I did. I said, actually, I'm more aware now than before. And so when you tell people, they get very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they get uncomfortable with like speaking about like their flaws and things.
Yes, I was very open. I told them that this is what we spoke about. This is who I am. There was one guy in my group of friends that actually would call me and said, hey, can you tell me more about it? And I did notice that everybody I talked to was very interested in my story. Not one person said, hey, I don't want to hear it. They're like, hey, can you tell me more about what you experienced? So I found out that was a commonality between everybody I talked to. Was like, they wanted to hear what I had gone through. Not about them, but about me. They just wanted to hear my experience. So I'd sit for weeks at a time and just call people. I'm like, oh, this is what I went through. And I think that's part of the healing, is telling other people what you went through. And it gives them a perspective.
And I think it's healing for them, because they probably they see themselves in what you're saying.
Yeah. But a lot of people I talk to, they won't, taking the step is the hardest part. And I think this is what I heard on the last day. The gentleman said, for a married man to come out here by himself without his wife and kids, that's a big deal. That means you really want. And I was like, yeah, I never thought about that. I was like, yeah, you must really want to change something, because, I mean, that takes a lot, because a lot of married men don't like leaving their spouses to travel and do things. But he said, yeah, you just did it. I'm like, oh, I didn't even hesitate. I just booked the ticket and just came out here. That's how much I wanted to change. So for me, that was a big deal.
And then after you leave, you said they follow up with you for a few months. Do they ever recommend you coming back to like a follow-up session, maybe just a short time, like a day or something?
They do.
To do like a workshop?
Yeah, they have workshops also. They do have workshops. They give out workshops. This is where they try to upsell you. They'll say, hey, since you've experienced this, we have sessions so you can become a trainer in our association.
Oh gosh.
Because you've gone through it. So they're like,
well, I think that would work for you.
For me, it would work fine, because I kind of lived it. So I think they'd want somebody like me to kind of tell people, hey, this is not fake. This is real. This is what you really want it to be. If you want to look for that significant change in your life, and you can't get this change by just going to like a therapist. See, the problem is therapists don't really give you the tools to change. They just identify what the issues are and say, oh, well, just do this. So you're doing things physically, but you're not changing. See, the individual has to be willing to change. Like,
that's different than
come out of your skin, and the person that's inside that's trying to come out, you got to be willing to find that person. Until you find who that person is, your life is really, you're going to struggle a lot, because that's what, I shouldn't say this, but that's what we talked to Natalie's niece about, is being who you are, being your true self, not being afraid to be who you are, because as we get older, we tend to start, man, I really want to do this in my life. I want to do this, but I'm scared.
You regret things. You don't want to live, do it.
Because that's your you wanting to come out. That's your inner you wanting to come out. And if you fight it, that's when it gets more frustrating as you get older. So I told Natalie, I'm like, when these kids get out of the house, man, we got to do something crazy, travel together, just do things that make us happy and really be ourselves. That's all you can do, is try to be the best version of yourself you can. That's it. That's
it. And then, like I always say, not everybody's going to like you, but it's all right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing matters to me anymore. I mean, when I say that, I mean to a point, but I don't worry about really nothing anymore like I used to. So I wake up, I feel fine. I don't feel any guilt. See, religion makes you feel guilty.
A lot of stuff makes you feel guilty.
Yeah, but if you haven't done anything wrong.
Right, why should you feel guilty?
There's no need to feel guilty. And that's why I tell people, they're like, oh, you should do that. I'm like, I do what I want to do now. I'm like, I'm not going to respond to your rules or whatever. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm taking care of my family, and I'm doing what I want to do. That's it.
And you're not breaking any laws or anything.
I'm not breaking any laws. The crazy part is I still go to church.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took like a year off going to church after this. A full year. a full year of not reading the Bible either. I just took it off. I said, you know what? I'm going to just do things without this for one time and see what happens when I'm not in this for a year.
And how did it go?
It went just like I thought it would. Fantastic.
So what made you go back to church?
Just to go back.
Just to
because
go back.
Because I grew up in church.
Because you like it.
Yeah. So I mean, even after everything I just told you, I still like going back
Right.
to church, and because it's still a good experience to be around people. I hear the pastor preach, and if I don't care what the pastor says, it doesn't bother me. You see what I'm saying? Whereas used to, I'd be, oh my gosh,
He said that.
I'm going to hell when I leave this place.
They're taking it literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm not like that anymore. So when I go there, my experience there is totally different now. So when I go there, I see the people.
You get what you want out of it.
I get what I want out of it. I hear the message, and it's a great experience for me now. I go there and I just experience happiness and just feeling good to be around people.
To be around people.
Yeah. So it's a different experience for me now, whereas others go to church I know, and they come out feeling more guilty than they did going in.
Right. Well, it's like they say, oh, she's a good person, a good girl. She goes to church.
Yeah.
So I've always hear that, and I'm like, so what does that really mean?
It doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, that's why I told Natalie, at the end of the day, people have to be true to themselves because we're all going through things in our lives. You know, every one of us. So at some point, are you going to let somebody or something dictate who you become? Or are you going to take accountability and start making changes in your life? And I think that's number one, is people taking full accountability of their actions instead of saying, oh, this person's going to forgive me for treating that person bad. No,
putting on someone else.
You have to go and tell that person, hey, man, I'm sorry for what I did. You know, I shouldn't have done that. Like, take your own personal accountability and start doing things that'll make you grow as a person.
That's what I always say, take responsibility, but it's very difficult for people to do.
It is. It's easier to put on their actions on something else and say, okay, for instance, as a Christian, to be like, oh, God, forgive me. So if I curse somebody out, you go, oh, God, please forgive me for cursing that person out. But you're not really, all you did was say, okay, instead of me approaching that person and apologizing, you said, okay, God, forgive me. So I'm good.
Right.
That's not fair. So you never really did anything. You didn't take accountability. You just kind of passed the buck on
to somebody else. Or a spiritual.
Or something else.
Or a formality.
Yeah.
So last time we spoke, you mentioned, was it that you were in training to be a chaplain?
Yeah.
And that's what you said you've put on hold.
Yeah. I put all that crap on hold. I still, Natalie actually got on my ass the other day. She said, you're making excuses. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm like, because I'm supposed to actually go to the hospital and start training at the hospital now to get my hours. I need chaplain hours at the hospital for a certain amount of hours for a year before I can get those certifications, so my church will finally give me my ordination. So working in the hospital a certain amount of hours is part of that.
How many? It's a lot?
Oh, it's a lot. It's almost like a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
So that's why. So now he's like, you
don't have time.
So now
you
he's
have
like,
a full-time job, right?
Yes, I have a full-time job. So now he's like, you need to go there part-time just to start the process. And she's right. I'm just kind of making excuses.
Maybe a little bit per week.
Yeah.
Not like part-time.
Correct. Like I could, because I work from home, I could probably do 1 or 2 days a week to where, hey, I get off work at 4:30. I'll go to the hospital for 3-4 hours, maybe 2 days a week just to start. She is right, though. I probably need to do that just to kind of get started in the process because I have been making excuses.
I think that's really neat that you mentioned that you're going to do that.
At the end of the day, I still want to do something that's going to change people's lives. I know that's kind of there's not a waiting line to become a chaplain. That's the one thing. Like, there's no waiting line.
No.
Like, people.
I've never heard anybody say that.
People are not lining up to become chaplains for nobody. But at the end of the day, I still have to consider, this is what I tell people, even people in the church. At the end of the day, even though you want to help people, you got to pay your bills.
Yes.
Because they always say, oh, God will provide. No, he won't. At the end of the day, you have to figure out a way to pay your bills and think about retirement. Like, you have to think about, these are real things. And
because
so
the chaplain job, it doesn't pay.
It doesn't.
It's volunteer.
No. Most of them pay.
Okay.
Yeah. They do have volunteer chaplains, but what I'd be doing, it's not highly paid, but I'm going to get a paycheck. But the plan is to, once I leave engineering, is to kind of go into that as the end of my career and into retirement. Just do that, because that's not going to take up as much time as engineering.
Yes.
As far as my responsibilities.
What
But
type of engineer are you?
electrical. I
Electrical?
do the power lines outside. I used to do that. So I manage projects now for a company, and I just manage renewable projects like wind, solar.
I need to refer my nephew. He's in school at UF he wants to be an electrical
Oh
engineer.
yeah, send the resume or whatever he has my
I'll
way
tell
when you get a
him.
chance. Yeah, because we're always looking for good young engineers who want to do that stuff.
Who want to learn that? Yeah, mentor.
Definitely, yeah.
But thanks for joining me. Next time I have you on, I want to be sure that you've done 48 hours of chaplain work.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably a good goal.
Is that a good goal?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I need to start. So that's probably a good goal.
So if
this
we do
summer.
it another 6 or 7
Yeah,
months.
yeah. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna make that commitment to kind of do something.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah, that is reasonable to kind of
It's
get
like
started.
8 hours
Yeah, and do
month.
something like that. Yeah. No, you're right. At this point, it's really because my kids are older, so they don't need me as much as they did when they were younger. So I've been there for them, and they understand what I'm doing right now. So for them, it's not a huge deal as it was when they were younger. So the 18-year-old, he's getting ready to go, and so I have a 15-year-old that's going to be a sophomore at Lake Mary.
Oh gosh.
So I mean, but like I said, I've been there the whole time for them. So now they're older. As long as I'm there most of the time,
Right.
they're fine.
They'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
And Miss Natalie, thank you.
Next time you got to have both of us up here.
Yes,
so
we're
we
gonna
can
get her on the
make the
camera.
podcast about something crazy. So
We will.
we can come on here and talk about it.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for listening and joining us. If you haven't already, please share, subscribe, and like our episodes and our podcast. Also, leave a review. It will be so helpful to us, and we would so appreciate it. Also, if you want to join us at any time, we're open to any guests joining us in person and on Zoom. We post and record episodes bi-weekly, so that's twice a month. Also, they're posted on our socials, which is Facebook, Secured Insurance Group, Instagram, Colleen Insurance Lady. This podcast was hosted by myself, Miss Colleen Pacheco, and recorded and produced and edited by Sean Spazzato. Our podcast cover art was designed and created by Norma Pacheco, and our intro and outro music is created by Lounge Bar by Geronik. Goodbye.